Hi, I'm Adriana Baranek, CEO of Media Group, and here with me is Mladen Baranek, our CTO. Hi.
Hi.
So today we'll be talking about IoT and the public cloud. Internet of Things has become such a huge topic recently. It's a new buzzword, and basically it cannot go really well without the public cloud. And Mladen will tell us more about why that is so.
So it's kind of a marriage made in heaven, IoT applications and public cloud, where IoT applications usually require a global reach. And if that is not the main requirement, they also have to manage firmware updates, upgrades. They have to be very scalable in order to support peak requirements when there are a lot of messages, and they have to be secure. So we see a lot of implementations on market today that have severe shortages in all of those three areas. So they are either not global, they work best in some places but not the other. They have tremendous problems with upgrading firmware, and many devices become unusable, or they have difficulties managing how they execute that. And more importantly, they lack security. So they usually have a lot of issues with managing encryption certificates and that kind of stuff. So if you are using public cloud services for IoT that Google, Microsoft, and Amazon offering, you'll obviously solve this global reach issue. You'll also get a kind of infrastructure for upgrading and managing versions of your devices. So it is very important to be able to upgrade for either security reasons or for functionality reasons all of your IoT devices that are already deployed. And there are many operating systems that are supported and many devices that are supported by all of the public cloud vendors. And finally, security is one of the areas where we see a lot of issues, especially with security cameras or with connected devices like light bulbs. Or so in many of those implementations, we see a lot of difficulties where vendors made either open source implementations or they tried to implement it on less scalable platforms, so they didn't opt for using Google, Amazon, or Microsoft for implementing IoT services. So we'll see, especially, I don't know, for devices that are sold globally, that it's becoming kind of a hard requirement to use such services and not to deploy a kind of proprietary solution based on either open source technology that is then leveraged to implement on-prem IoT platform.
And what we are seeing is, for instance, Google just recently purchased Fitbit, and that is really good news for Fitbit, I think, and also for that kind of activity trackers and for that entire area, which is very interesting. Fitness is very in, and Fitbit has great products. but I can vouch from my personal experience. I have been using Fitbit in the past, and it was very bad in many regards. And all those regards were basically because they did not have the scale of the public cloud behind them. They did not have the specific knowledge, and the products were just sometimes very unusable. And I hope that this move that Google is now owner of Fitbit will really help Fitbit scale up and become more reliable, because public cloud is mostly about security. That is one thing that, when we come to the meetings to our prospective clients and they talk about how they're afraid for their security because they do not want to move to the public cloud, we know that they are just talking out of their double S. And because it is really security is the biggest advantage of the public cloud, we can say.
Yes, so all the complexity and investment needed for security, it's kind of a bread and butter of public cloud. And for many companies that implement on-prem solutions or that have to take care of products and functionality, security comes as an afterthought that has to be present, but it's not something they see as a profit center or how they're going to benefit from improved security. So that is one area where public cloud differs significantly from solutions that are proprietary and implemented on.
Where we can say that security is part of the solution and the main part, basically.
Yes.
And what we can say is that also this Internet of Things, it will become, it will evolve in time. The one thing that is very specific with the Internet of Things and with the artificial intelligence and with the machine learning and with the public cloud, things are moving progressively. So the things that we're talking about today will not necessarily be true tomorrow, and things have to be moved exponentially, and they will be moved exponentially. And the fact is that those that have proprietary solutions that are just closed in their own little boxes on their own little on-premise infrastructure, they are really in danger of becoming obsolete. Can you comment on that, please?
Well, especially in home networking environments where requirements are changing rapidly. There are a lot of new IoT devices. Like there were cases where people had problems because light bulbs were having difficulties with DHCP implementation and were reusing IP addresses that were reserved by some other devices on the network and causing a lot of issues. So we'll see requirements to improve both networking and scalability of such IoT solutions, because they are starting to interfere with other applications on the network. And with the advent of mobile networking and additional devices that will be employed in the field, we can also see a scalability issue. So many of solutions we are currently using in Miadria suffer from dropping some connections, or you have to repeat a few times things to make them work and stuff like that. If they're using implementation based on those three public cloud services we mentioned, then usually we don't see such issues.
Yeah, definitely. And we believe in testing, so we are using all that stuff. We are using light bulbs, we are using cameras, we are using Alexa, we are using Google Home, we are using everything that is available on the market where you can lay your hand on and start using the IoT. We have been using fitness trackers for years now, and it really transforms your life. It can really transform your business. So if you'd like to find out more and you would like to talk to us about the Internet of Things and how it can be applied in your business processes and in your environment, please contact us. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Mladen?
No, thank you for watching us.
Yeah, thank you for watching us. It was a pleasure, and contact us if you need anything. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.